directly goes to your villa in Tuscany when you are on vacation for cooking classes and private dinners. Today, here in this period of coronavirus, we try to run some cooking classes about typical dishes, Italian dishes and Tuscan dishes as well. And today we're going to make a risotto with asparagus. To make risotto is not a difficult thing to do, but it's really important that you follow some steps. And you see how you can do to obtain a nice even risotto dish. The first step to make risotto is to make a good broth. So you have to take some water and cold water and put there 1 carrot, 1 onion and possibly celery. So these are the ingredients and this is the water. So we take our piece of celery and we put directly in cold water, carrots and possibly a small onion. That's all. You can put another piece of celery, but it's not important. So we put our pot on the fire and make it boiling. Let's go to cut the onion. The other step to make your risotto is to cut the onion. The onion has to be thin, but not extremely. We cut our onion. Now we take the asparagus. Here you have asparagus that you can buy in a shop, in a veggie shop near here. And these are some asparagus that we found picking up wild herbs near the wood, the forest that is near my home. So to clean up the asparagus, you have just to take this and to move the white part that you find at the end of asparagus, because in this kind of risotto you don't have to throw anything. At this point you take the last part of the asparagus and try to cut in round. And you leave the tip of asparagus in this way, because these cook really fast. Just another piece. And we put here our asparagus chips. Another step to make our risotto is to take the butter. The butter is important for risotto as well of the extra virgin oil, because this one serves to mantecate and to mix well all the risotto. This is a trick that is very important in my opinion. You have to take some butter, 2 people, 3 people, so 30-40 grams, 1 ounce of butter, like this. You put this in a parchment paper And you have to remind to put this in the freezer, so your butter will be very cold. When at the end, when the risotto is ready, you turn off the heat and you have to put this to mix the risotto and to mantecate it very well. During our cooking classes in Tuscany, many customers and students always ask me what kind of risotto is good to make a very good and delicious risotto. In my opinion, the best kind is Carnaroli rice, this one. This is the written. This is the perfect rice to make a risotto that is well worked through. If you need instead a risotto that we here in Italy call all'onda, so a very creamy and soft risotto, not a real strong risotto perfect for vegetable, but with some creamy and cheese, in this case maybe you can use Vialone Nano, that is another kind of rice. The first important step to make risotto while you are cooking it is to put some extra virgin oil in your pot. Then you can add the onion. As you can see, I had everything cold in the pot. Oil and onion are cold. Then I had some salt together with the onion because the salt is hygroscopic and so the onion doesn't burn. Then we had 20 grams of butter to our pot. And so we can go on the fire with these three ingredients: extra virgin oil, butter and onion. And we wait that just take off some wet. And then we add the rice. It's very important to add the rice at this moment because the rice needs to be toasted. So remember, always to toast the rice before making your risotto with the broth, with adding the broth. So always toast it before. Now we are on the stove. As you can see, we have our broth that is boiling. It's very cold. We add some coarse salt to the broth, just a pinch. And here we have the three ingredients that I told you before. This is a wooden spoon that I use for the risotto. As you can see, I don't use a fork, but a wooden spoon. This is very important in my opinion because risotto doesn't break. We add some coarse salt to the onion. Once the onion is ready, to take the rice that has to be toasted. At this point we can add our rice because the onion is very soft and the wet is outside of it. When I tell you to toast the rice, this means that the rice has to become translucent, so from white to transparent. The rice now is translucent and we can add some white wine, dry white wine. You can hear that the rice is ready and is translucent because in Italy we see it sings, il riso canta, the rice is singing. This is the noise that makes the rice when it's ready to have some white wine or broth. When there is no more wine in the air, so we don't smell anymore the flavor of the wine, we can add the asparagus, but just, not the tips, but just the end part of the asparagus. From now we have to add the broth once a time and to a distance of 3-4 minutes, or maybe less or maybe more, you have to see. When you cook the rice, you have not to cover with a lid. You leave open air, and it's very important that when you put your lid of broth, 1 or 2 usually, you just cover the rice, and then you wait medium fire. Now the fire is a bit high, sorry, and you wait a few minutes that the rice take all the broth, take all the wet. This procedure, I think, is 15 minutes, 12 minutes with a Carnaroli rice. Once absorbed the broth, we put our broth again. Another thing that I'd like to tell you is a suggestion. When you are mixing your risotto, you have to do 2 movements. The first is in the center and the other is outside. At this point we can add our asparagus tips. I had also the wild one. So after 12-15 minutes, the risotto is ready. It's ready to be well mixed with the Parmesan cheese and the butter that I put in the freezer, remember. This is a very important procedure and method because it gives all the flavor to the risotto, and it's important that you make it directly in the pot. I show you the texture of the rice that now is ready. I just take off some tips to decorate the plate. So we turn off the heat and we are ready to add the butter and the Parmesan. Frozen butter. After that we have well mixed the rice, we leave it without touching in any way for 5 minutes. This is very important to take all the flavor. Once pour your rice in the plate, you can take your asparagus tips and then to give a color, you can grate some orange zest on the top. Our asparagus risotto is ready. Buon appetito!